I'm at Centrestage in Kilmarnock, which is a brilliant community-based social enterprise that's doing wonders for people who are facing challenges in their lives and building up in the community a huge resource to help people with addiction, people maybe who've been part of the criminal justice system, but involving the much wider community and doing very positive things. For example, we heard the men's choir, the Unlikely Lads, average age I think about 72, and they were absolutely brilliant. And what this is doing is bringing them out, making sure they're part of the community, playing their part as well. And this is the kind of initiative we need more of in Scotland.
It's one of the Fairer Scotland discussions hosted by Alec Neil, and it's encouraging communities and the folks who live there to get engaged with what the future of Scotland could be, what could make things better, what could make things fairer.
The fact that we're not going round with a predetermined agenda, that we're letting people set the agenda, is a big plus of how we're doing this. And of course people are very committed to the principle of fairness in Scotland. The issue is, particularly against the background of the very severe cuts to welfare and to public spending, how do we achieve a fairer Scotland against that background? And people are beginning to think about that in a way that perhaps wasn't the case before we started this exercise, but the feedback in terms of how we're doing it, as well as the feedback in terms of what people think we should do, is first class.
It's always better to involve people from the very beginning and build relationships, not to impose things on us. So if we can be involved in the discussions and be part of the process, I think that's far more empowering, and it makes us feel an awful lot more involved in what actually directly affects us.
And the number of people who are turning up is amazing. You know, I'm told in a number of these areas that some people actually couldn't get in because we were squeezed to capacity. So that's a very, very clear indication of the hunger, which I think started during the referendum and has continued, a hunger for people to participate in the development of government policy and not just to be standby observers.